When we are building applications using Visual Builder or App UI or extending any Redwood pages in Oracle Fusion, we might come across a common scenario wherein we have to generate the QR code as an image and we have to show on the screen for some number or some link or the URL. Also, we will have a ask from the customer, generate the QR code and download as a PNG file or an image or store in the database as a blob or upload to object storage or the blob storage. Suppose if you have such kind of requirement in your application, then we will see how to do the same in this class. I have created a simple page over here using the welcome page Redwood template. For demonstration purpose, I am considering generating a QR code for the UPI ID. UPI ID, if you don't know, it's a common instant payment method which is commonly used by the people in India. It will have a unique URL or the UPI ID or the address. It will be similar like an email address for the people who don't know how the UPI ID will look like. And we have to enter the amount or the name and the note. So amount and all we can enter later, but the UPI ID is very important because the QR code, if you are scanning with any app like the PhonePe, Google Pay, Beam app or any other UPI supported apps, then UPI ID is important and they can scan the QR code. So this use case I am using for demonstration purpose. I will provide over here our UPI address beenum101@axl. So this will be our UPI address. So for this we have to generate the QR code. Once I tab out, so this generate QR code will be enabled. I will click on the generate QR code. So this is going to generate the QR code and it will show it over here instantly when we click on the generate QR code button. Suppose if you scan this QR code right now using the PhonePe or any other UPI supported application, then it will show our UPI handle and you can pay the amount. Suppose you tell that we don't want user to enter the amount, rather we want to hard code it. Suppose if you want to get the payment for some product, so you won't allow user to provide their own amount. Suppose if you're selling any product for 1,000 rupees, then you want to hard code this to 1,000 so that you don't allow user to modify the amount. In that case, we can enter the amount over here and we can click on generate QR code and you can ask your customer to pay scanning this QR code. Further, we can provide more information. So these things will vary depending upon the system for which you are generating the QR code. If you look at the deep link for UPI address, then UPI address will support UPI ID, payee name, amount and the note. So note will be coming in the bank statement when you print. I will tell this is for the training purpose. Suppose we are conducting the training, then we are charging 1,000 rupees. So we will ask our student or the customer to scan this QR code and pay us 1,000 rupees. Then they can scan this and they can pay instantly. And this will reflect in our bank statements. And the pay name, you can give your student name or the customer name. So accordingly, you will generate the QR code. And also I have given the functionality over here to download the QR code as an image file. I will click on this QR code. So this will download a PNG file. I will just open this. So this is going to download the QR code in a PNG format. So this image you can store as a blob in the database or upload to object storage or attach in the Fusion in any of the attachments in the Fusion module, or you can even share with your customer over WhatsApp, email, so on and so forth. There are n number of possibilities when you are carrying out a business in the real world. So you can scan this UPI ID or the QR code and make a payment to Beenum Learning. So you'll see how I have achieved the same using Visual Builder. I have created a very simple application over here using the Redwood welcome page template. I have added over here the form layout and I'm adding 4 input text components. One is to accept the UPI ID. I have created the variable to store this as soon as the user enters. The payee name I'm storing in the payee name variable. Amount also I'm storing in the input amount variable, and the note also I'm storing in the input variable by creating the appropriate variables. UPI ID I have marked as a required. Accordingly, I have added the condition over here. If all the required fields are populated over here, then enable the buttons. At the end, I'm having the due segment. So due segment will be overwritten at runtime to show the QR code. Download QR code is one more button. This also will be enabled as soon as the UPI ID will be provided by the user. Now the most important part over here is this button. As soon as the user clicks on the QR code button, it is going to generate the UPI ID. Suppose I change over here from 1000 to 2000, click on QR code, it will generate the QR code so that the user can scan this and pay. Now UPI ID deep link works like UPI://pay ? Then the payee name, we have to give the payee handle, that is the UPI ID, followed by ampersand, then the payee name, then followed by the currency code, and then the amount, and then the transaction note. So this is the deep link, what you see over here in my screen. This is the format supported by UPI in India. So accordingly, if you are having any such kind of format, like you want to route the user to any website like a PayPal or something else, you can construct the URL as per your use case. So the main important thing over here is the button. I have created an event listener so that as soon as user clicks on this button, it will be listened by this event listener, and the set of actions it has to perform on click of this button I have mentioned in this action chain. Let me get into the action chain. If you look at the actions available over here in the action chain, we don't have any action available at the time of recording this class, that is to generate the QR code. So I have made use of the custom JavaScript function over here. So this is the function I have created, that is generate QR code, and I'm passing all the 4 parameters which are accepted by the user from the UI. I will get into my function. As we are using the custom JavaScript function over here, we would be needing the library. So I'm making use of this QR code, that is the most popular QR code generation JavaScript library in the marketplace right now, which developers use in order to build the functionality. It is to generate the QR code or to download the QR code in the application where JavaScript will be used. For this purpose, what I have done is I have uploaded the QR code JavaScript library file over here under the resources.js. Now you might ask the question, like, from where I will be getting this QR code JavaScript file. In all our demonstrations, we have shown that we will be using the JavaScript files available in the CDN JavaScript repository. So this is the place from where we downloaded our QR code JS file. You can download min or QR code.js. Whatever suits your application, you can download and upload it over here under the resource section. So this is the very simple custom function I have written, and I am generating the QR code as per the deep link which is supported by the UPI. UPI supports, as I told, UPI://pay, and then the UPI address, and then the payee name, and then the currency, and then coming to the amount. If user has entered the amount, I will put the amount, and the note if it has been provided by the user, then I will put it over here. Accordingly, I will generate and I will pass this over here. The first argument will be the ID on which I am showing the QR code at runtime. So QR code is nothing but it is the ID of my div segment over here that I am overwriting at the runtime. So this div segment is having the ID as QR code. So this I am mentioning it over here. The first argument to this QR code class is the element in my HTML which is having this ID, that is QR code. Next is the text which I'm generating it over here, that is the deep link. Suppose if you want to route the user to some website or some YouTube channel or a specific video on a YouTube, you can write the URL, something like this, which will be having the HTTPS protocol instead of UPI protocol. Then accordingly, you can put what should be the width and height. And for more information, what we can pass for this QR code class at the time of instantiation, we can have a look at the GitHub documentation for QR code. So this is what I'm using it over here, that is the QR code external JavaScript library. Coming to the download QR code, for this button also I have created an event listener. As soon as the user clicks on this button, I'm making the browser to listen to those events, that is the button click event, and the set of actions it has to perform I have written in the action chain. I will go into the action chain. Currently, we don't have any inbuilt function over here in the action chain which can download any image or any PNG file at runtime. For that, I have written a JavaScript function. I will go into this function. So this is a very simple function I have written. It will just check where is this QR code element, which happens to be our div segment in the HTML code. It will get the element, what it is there in the QR code, and it will convert to the URL and it will download into our computer like a PNG file. That is what it has downloaded it over here. So following those steps, we can create an application or a functionality within our Visual Builder application, that is to generate the QR code as well as to download the QR code as a PNG file. You can use similar functionality while you are building the app UI extensions for your Oracle Fusion using the SAS VB, or if you are extending any Redwood page built by Oracle for your Oracle Fusion instance.